Today we are going to install the new DRT Motorsports XP1000 tire carrier and adventure rack. This carrier fits the 2024 Plus Polaris RZR XP1000 2 and 4 door models. Install time is around 45 to 60 minutes. Can be installed by yourself with a difficulty level of beginner. You will need this list of tools to complete the installation. So, gather the tools, and let's install. Let's start by assembling the tire carrier hardware. With the rack upside down on a workbench or table, install the rubber bumpers using a Phillips head screwdriver. Next, install the latches as shown here, facing forward toward you, and handles facing outward. Now, install the 8 supplied 4mm Allen bolts, and tighten them all down, as you see here. Next, install the shock ball mount as shown here on each side, and tighten them down with two 13mm wrenches. Then, install the backing plate to the logo area as you see here, install the tiny supplied hardware, and tighten down. Next, rotate the rack, and install the heim joints. Preset the jam nuts so they are ½ inch from the top of the nut to the top of the threads. Then, hand thread them into place, making sure they are vertical when finished. Don't forget to use thread lock and thread marker when fully adjusted and finished, so your heims stay in place. Lastly, install the latch handle billet covers, with the logo facing up, and the acorn nut on the bottom. Next, let's move to the vehicle and start by removing these 4 T40 Torx bolts, so we can install the tire carrier front mounts. Next, set the tire carrier mounts in place, as you see here, line up the holes, reinstall the T40 Torx bolts, and tighten them down. Now, grab the supplied aluminum plate, hole spacing template, and set it into this location, tied up into the front corner. Then, mark the holes on the plastic with a Sharpie. Remove the template plate, and using a step drill bit, drill the holes, and maybe go one size larger than the template hole for easy installation of hardware. Then, repeat this step to the other side of the vehicle. Next, grab the frame clamp, and set it into place around the frame, in the wheel well, as you see here. Now, from the top side, align the plate underneath, with the holes drilled in the plastic. You may need to use an awl, or a small screwdriver, to assist in lining up the holes. Next, set the shock assist mounting bracket in place, as you see here. Align the holes, install the supplied 5mm Allen bolts, and tighten them down. Then, repeat this step on the other side. Now, let's install the two latch mounts to the rear chassis. Using a 16mm socket, remove the two chassis bolts. Hold the back underside of the chassis in your hand, to catch the nuts as they fall out. Next, set the spacer plate in place over the holes, and then the striker plate mounting bracket over that, as you see here. Then, reinstall the two 16mm factory bolts and backing nuts, and tighten them down. Repeat this step to the other side of the vehicle. Now, grab the assembled tire carrier and set it in place, as you see here. Then, move to the heim joint, install the two misalignments, and set the rack in place. Next, align the holes, slide in the bolt from the outside, and thread on the backing nut. Repeat this step on the other side of the vehicle. Now, check and see that the rack lines up with the back of the vehicle, or just inset from the back, and then centered side to side, as you see here. Next, lift the rack and lock in the strike plate on each side, as you see here. Close the rack, and line up the mounting holes. This gives you the proper mounting position to install the bolts. Install the two supplied 18mm bolts and backing nuts on each side, as shown here. Then, make sure that the striker plate is positioned all the way up inside the latch, and tighten the plates down. Now, open and close the carrier, to make sure it is latching properly. In our case, we need to adjust the heim joint, to move the rack forward, so the striker lines up with the latch. We had to adjust the height of the striker plate as well. Then, test again, and retighten everything down. Next, install the lift assist shocks, by snapping them over the upper and lower ball mounts, and always upside down. Once everything is in place, tighten down the heim joint bolts using an 18mm on the bolt, and a 19mm on the backing nut. Then, tighten the jam nuts, and you are done. Congrats, that completes your DRT XP1000 tire carrier, adventure rack. This rack is an essential upgrade for the 2024 Plus Polaris XP1000 owner, who needs the ability to carry a spare tire, or heavy gear. It is compatible with factory, or aftermarket cages, and features a box design with tons of tie-down point options, heavy-duty latches, and lift assist shocks. As a tire carrier, the rack will hold up to a 35-inch tire securely, to keep you on the trails, and running hard. The DRT Motorsports Polaris RZR XP tire carrier, adventure rack comes powder-coated and a completely bolt-on installation. Until we meet on your next DRT install, be safe out there. If you have any questions during your installation, don't hesitate to contact us via phone or email. We are here to help.